At the time of this video's intended release, Mortal Kombat 1 has been out for a good while now, so you likely are already aware of Sub-Zero's identity in the game. For the first time since 1992, Bi-Han is Sub-Zero. MK9 doesn't really count. But, looking at this, I thought of something. Why is Noob Saibot so shafted? Is it because he's black? Okay, I'm joking. But really, he seems wasted in his long history, and he's been around since Mortal Kombat 2. Allow me to show you what could have been, had the developers taken the opportunity to develop him. Yep, now I make Mortal Kombat videos. Look, you're probably confused by now. I'm trying to appeal to multiple audiences at the moment. I don't intend to focus on one thing at a time. Like FNAF. It all depends on what does well. Subscribe for more. Please, I really need this. The last video got copyright claimed like 5 different times. Now let's dive into everyone's favorite Shadow Ninja. Noob Saibot first appears in Easter egg boss fight in MK2, similar to Reptile in the first Mortal Kombat game, along with Smoke and Jade. He's certainly a character. He's essentially just a faster version of Scorpion, except he's all black for the sake of being all black. His name comes from the last names of John Tobias and Ed Boon, the creators of the game. That's it. There is literally nothing else notable about him. I guess the fact that you have to win 50 times in a row to unlock him is interesting, but eh. Noob returns in MK3. I think. It's complicated. In the original version, he was unlockable by entering a combat code as Kano. That's right, for some reason, he's a palette swap of Kano? Huh? I have no idea what's going on. In Ultimate, he's only playable in some versions. In MK Trilogy, well, he's playable. It's really convoluted though, so I'm gonna move on. Actually, wait, there's something. In MK Trilogy, or maybe Ultimate, I don't remember, there's 2 Sub-Zeros. And one is referred to as Classic Sub-Zero. And he wears the Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 ninja costume. You could tell something's weird. That's right, they used a C instead of a K in Classic. Jokes aside, who is this guy, huh? Well, it might have been Bi-Han. I think it was meant to be, since his ending is incredibly ambiguous. I think this was a different idea Midway had in mind, where the original Sub-Zero was secretly alive and well. This obviously never came to pass, since there's no 4th tournament like the ending mentions. But it seems interesting to think about what could have been. In the franchise's first spin-off, Noob reappears as Sub-Zero in MK Mythologies, Sub-Zero, where he's tasked with stealing Shinnok's amulet for Quan Chi. Blah blah blah, tons of stuff happens, and okay, I'm gonna be real. There's only one interesting thing here for Bi-Han, Serena. She's introduced as a potential love interest for him, but is seemingly killed around the end of the game. She either comes back to life, or it turns out she was incapacitated. I don't remember which, but we've seen her various times after. By various times, I mean unplayable. The only time I can remember she was actually playable is Armageddon. But her and Bi-Han's relationship sadly never went anywhere, which disappoints me greatly. According to her in MKX, Mythologies is still canon, and Bi-Han freed her from her enslavement. I just wish we actually got to see the two of them together. Noob kinda sits on the bench for a bit, following yet another hidden code for MK4, and being playable in Deadly Alliance Tournament Edition, where he kills Goro. Technically, it's really weird. They have no idea what they're doing with him. He isn't seen, like, as a full playable character in every version until Mortal Kombat Deception. And this is when things get interesting. Noob finds Cyber Smoke and reprograms him into his ally for evil. He plans to use Smoke as a template for cyber demons for the sake of evil. But what's interesting, his ending. Although his identity at this point was simply a NetherRealm Wraith, his true identity is finally revealed in his ending. It turns out that Bi-Han, the first Sub-Zero, is also Noob Saibot. This twist is kinda crazy, but I mean, I wish more was done with it in this game, you know? Because the twist was only restricted to a non-canon ending, so while it's still a pretty good twist, nothing was really done with it other than for shock value. Maybe they did something with it the game after they didn't. They literally did nothing with it. Granted, Armageddon in general was a mess, but come on. Noob appears in Conquest mode for a little bit along with Smoke, but they're both defeated, and that's pretty much it. God, they crammed too much into this game, didn't they? This is just another example of that. I mean, just look at Motaro. In all honesty, I don't think anything truly came of Noob until the next timeline over. In MK9, Bi-Han technically returns to Sub-Zero, but is quickly killed in literally the 3rd chapter. He isn't even a separate character in the roster, just a skin for his brother. Bruh. He later appears as Noob Saibot during random intervals in the game, and he has a wardrobe change at one point. But overall, he doesn't do much. It's revealed that he's the original Sub-Zero doesn't happen until close to the end of the game, and literally the moment after, he gets his ass kicked by both Sub-Zero and Nightwolf and proceeds to die. Yeah, that's it. In his ending, he teams up with Havoc to do stuff. Once again, Noob's potential is squandered. He's just, wow, I'm evil now, wow, Waluigi. I don't know why I did a Waluigi impression. I gotta say, why does he never fight Scorpion? Genuine question. Scorpion's the one who killed him, so you would think he would try fighting to kill him. But no. Instead, he's just another jobber to be beaten by the main characters in every other chapter. He does not win a single fight in this game. This is racism. Again, joking. Well,
police brutality coming up.
Noob's latest appearance in Mortal Kombat 11 is both his worst and his best. Best in terms of gameplay and visuals, but worst in terms of story. Noob first appears in the story in Scorpion and Sub-Zero's chapter where he reveals he never died in MK9 with this crazy new voice like Dr. Claw and outfit. And then he gets his ass kicked. At least it was from someone of equal power. I think. Well, all three of them are ninjas, so I guess it doesn't really matter. Noob reappears later on in the story against Jax and Jackie. Oh, good. Two characters that Noob can very easily beat. Which would be, are you kidding me? To Jackie and Jax. Bro's actually ass at this game. It's not even funny. How does he lose to these two? They're literally just normal people. Oh, and want to know the worst part? That's his final appearance in the story. Good job, NetherRealm. You're really good at this. Well, he appears in Aftermath only to be beaten again, but it's by Fujin, a demigod, though, so I'll let it slide. Because again, it's a demigod. It's not just some random military guy. The disrespect, man. Actually, you know what? Let me tell you what I think would have been better plot-wise. Because I am better. Although he was killed by Scorpion, as mentioned it in several intros, Noob never once, throughout all of his history, pursues Scorpion and tries to take his own quote-unquote vengeance against him. In Scorpion's solo chapter, instead of Devourer of all people killing him, it should have been Noob.
I should be glad you killed Hanzo.
Then why attack me?
His life was mine to claim.
Noob going after Scorpion and finally getting his revenge would have completed the cycle of bloodshed, wrapping up a character arc for both him and Hanzo. It would have been even cooler to see Noob realize that by killing Hanzo, his soul is still not at peace and he's still corrupted by darkness and evil. It would have been cool if Hanzo was like, hey man, you're still not at peace, right? And then Bihan would be like, oh damn, I guess I'm the bad guy, my bad fam. And then Hanzo dies and... okay, you get the idea. Noob quitting and just straight up leaving would have been great. What would have been even cooler is if he showed up later on to help defeat Kronika. I do think this would have been a better plot than Noob just being there. A big difference from Bihan in the A big difference from Noob in the NetherRealm games and Midway games that Bihan wasn't originally an arrogant asshole. He was just paid to kill Shang Tsung, and he planned to retire afterward from the Lin Kuei. He was only corrupt because of his death by Scorpion and revival into Noob Saibot, which apparently tainted his soul. Hell, in Armageddon's Conquest mode, Sub-Zero intends to try and save his brother after he and Taven beat him. But for now, that's where Noob's story ends. A plot hole filled with wasted potential. Or is it? Okay, real quick, this video is supposed to come out in October, meaning you might already know enough for Mortal Kombat 1 from YouTube videos and stuff, or you might already have the game. But if you don't know the story nor own the game, I highly suggest you skip to the time on screen. Otherwise, keep watching, but don't say I didn't warn you. In Mortal Kombat 1, Bihan is kind of just a typical bad guy. He's the Grandmaster of the Lin Kuei after his father's death. He reveals to Scorpion that he let their father die because he was dooming the Lin Kuei to mediocrity. Basically, Scorpion and Smoke are betrayed and are forced to flee by Sub-Zero. I don't exactly hate this because you gotta have at least one Scorpion versus Sub-Zero fight and confrontation in the game, but it's just... bleh. I think what they should do, should there be bonus story DLC or sequel to a game, or, you know, the Lin Kuei expansion that has been rumored for a while, I think Bihan should become Noob Saibot. But I want them to change something. Instead of Noob becoming corrupt and evil, becoming Noob Saibot humbles Bihan in the sense that it makes him realize his mistakes. I think this would be an interesting change to have the personality swap, and Noob Saibot as a broken man who realizes that his ego cost him everything, and he is exiled from Liang. Good guy Noob Saibot would be, in all honesty, a really, really cool concept that I hope comes true someday. Maybe. Before I end this video, I want to talk about Noob in other media, like the comics and movies. Let's make that brief, He's nowhere. Ever. Except for Annihilation, but he's just there, like, he's just a guy, he comes out of Ermac. That sounds wrong. And despite showing up as Sub-Zero in Scorpion's Revenge, after 2 other sequels, he hasn't returned as Noob Saibot. In the 2021 film, he returns as Sub-Zero again. And surprisingly, he serves as a badass antagonist. Of course, for some reason, they chose not to focus on Scorpion and Sub-Zero despite the marketing, but instead, focused on Cold. Damn it! It's possible he could show up in the sequel. I think he's going to, but I don't know. But for all we know, his story is over in live action. In conclusion, while I do think Noob Saibot is one of the best and most badass characters in the franchise, in terms of story, he's always been benched. There's as much potential and opportunity in a Scorpion vs. Noob Saibot arc as a Scorpion vs. Sub-Zero arc. I just hope NetherRealm realizes it, because Noob is one of my favorite characters in the franchise, and it would be cool to see something unique tried with him. But I'm interested in hearing your guys' take on Noob and how you would see his character change if you were to change it. Either way, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Subscribe to me if you want, and sorry, I'm trying to think of a Mortal Kombat pun. Get over here and subscribe. Nah, forget it. Have a good day.